Guys, I'm just jumping on. Hey Cassie, how are you? Just a little impromptu. I feel bad I didn't do Fridays live. So I just want to make a Christmas bow and say hello. More about saying hello. How is your day going, dear Cassie? Good, I hope. So I'm going to be making a large bow for a tree topper. And then also I'm going to show you how I package them up. So I'm using 2.5-inch wired ribbon. This is from Craft Outlet. Whenever I'm looking to get things, in bulk, like the 50-yard size, they're kind of like my go-to place. So if you're someone who does workshops, that's usually where I find the best deal for my bows. So since this is going to be going on a Christmas tree, we're gonna have some long tails. You're crafting too, awesome. So I don't know, this is probably like a little bit more than 2 feet. What are you making? Are you doing wreaths or what? I had hurt my wrist last week, and so I haven't really felt like designing, and it didn't feel good when I was designing. But yesterday I kind of like cranked like 3 new designs out, and I'm like, okay, back at it. All right, so right now I'm just I made my first set of tails that are about 2 feet. I'm gonna slide this into the dowel with another tail that's about 2 feet. And whenever we're doing this, when we put it through the dowel, we wanna do a really hard, crisp twist so that the pretty side of our ribbon is facing down on our EZ Bowmaker. Hey Caroline, so glad you could make it. All right, so I want this to be a big bow. So we're gonna start off with some 6-inch loops. Caroline, what do you have going on today? Anything interesting? Cassie is designing away. All right, so I did my 1 6-inch loop, and then I fed it back through my dowel, gave it a good twist. I'm gonna measure out 6 inches here, slide it back through the dowel, and then we're gonna repeat. I'm gonna do this probably like 6 to 8 times total. So as it goes through, twist it, measure 6 inches, just keep going like that. I hope you ladies are able to do the Zoom call next week. I'm excited. Oh, you're doing it. Oh, nice. Yes, definitely share it when you're done. The world flipped to Christmas over the weekend. Like I was like, oh my gosh. It's like all I see on my feed. So I'm like, well, I guess I gotta turn it over and start working on my Christmas designs like heavily. So I have like my fall designs on sale. I would love to move some of them on. I mean, I hate to say it, or I hate to brag, but our moms are so lucky because we make them just the best wreaths. My mom has like a huge wall of my wreaths like in her, hanging on her like basement wall. She does have a few from Pier 1. I'm not salty about it, but they're not all mine. Nice, very nice. I'm excited too. It'll be nice to like have like a voice to go with the face, to go with the design. All right, so I'm going for 8 loops. So 8 of these 6-inch loops. And oh my gosh, I I missed. Sometimes I feel like I live under a rock. Like I didn't even know it was daylight savings until like Monday. So, I mean, again, I'm like in my own world apparently. But I was not aware of this whole Norfolk pine craze, and it's beautiful. So I got some stuff ordered, and I'm just waiting for it. But I don't know if anybody else is using it, but I didn't realize it's this whole viral thing. So I actually had bought one, like a garland for my mantle. I just happened to grab one from Craft Outlet, but now I'm like, ooh, I gotta double back and make some with that. Your second day of freedom. Congratulations on your retirement, Caroline. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Are you filling your time, or are you just excited to like be able to relax? I feel like when I left my job, I like gave myself a little bit of downtime just because I could, and then I was like, ooh, I gotta get to work. This is gonna work. All right, so now I'm gonna start making some 5-inch loops. I'm gonna go with 8 again. And I think like there's a great profit margin on bows because either you kind of know how to make them or you have no clue or you have no interest in making them. So people will pay for you to make their bow, and it's well worth it. I mean, like when you think about who our perfect client is, it's typically someone who, you know, can afford the service, but they also don't want to get like dragged down like in all the details. Like they want what you have made and they are good to go. They want it as easy as possible. So tree toppers I found last year did a lot better than I thought. This year, those vote bows I made, I mean, I was selling them for like $44. So I still have some left. So I guess in 4 years I'll be making more. But, you know, the profit margin on that was really, really good. So I'm thinking of doing the toppers, and then, you know, maybe there'll be some like accents that people can purchase with it, or I'll just keep it simple and just keep it with the bow. Yeah, create those before I start. That's awesome that you're relaxing. You should be. And yeah, Cassie, I felt the pressure about the Christmas designs, and then I saw like, you know, like friends and family decorating for Christmas over the weekend, and I was like, oh boy. Like I hired a virtual assistant company, and so everything was dialed in for, you know, like Thanksgiving. Like to me, I just bought pumpkins last week. Like, you know, when you buy them too soon, it's too hot and they end up rotting. And then the mums with the frost, I ended up making some artificial, like the urn, kind of like planters that you just drop in, which I also think is a good market. Hobby Lobby had some artificial mums that looked really lifelike. So I went with those and, you know, threw in some maple leaves and pumpkins and all that stuff. So I have somebody for Christmas who is looking for urn drop-ins, so I'm gonna work on that. It's one of those things that once I did it, so I did it for my mom, did the urn drop-ins, and it probably took me a little long. It took me a lot longer because she was helping. But when I was doing them for myself and it was like no pressure, I mean, I literally put them together in like not even 10 minutes. So, you know, sometimes avoiding things because they're different or, you know, we're not familiar with it is just not a great practice. All right, so right now I've done 8 5-inch tails, 8 6-inch tails. Hey, Penny. Nice to see your name popping up. I'm just working on a tree topper bow. And this is my first time using this ribbon. It's very fun. I feel like this would do well in like a family tree. I think kids would like it. Oh yeah, absolutely, Cassie. Yeah, I feel like I'm asking people like if there's anything you want me to prepare for that Zoom call, but by all means, if you have stuff, like I think it's gonna be more fun with more participation from other people. You guys have listened to me ramble for so long. All right, I'm gonna start with another 2-foot tail, and I am going to make a couple of 4-inch loops. Let's see. Yeah, I'd love to hear your marketing thing. I was really trying to push like the harvest because Thanksgiving is a huge holiday, and um, and I actually realized like I don't have any fall centerpieces made, so I have a bit of I am gonna have to probably dip back into my fall because I really should have some things available. Like if you wanna give something as a hostess gift, or you know, again, this virtual assistant, they come out with some pretty like good content, and one of them was about how, you know, like after Thanksgiving when everything's cleaned up, you know, at least it looks nice that there's still like a, you know, a floral centerpiece there. Awesome. Yeah. I feel like the more prep I have, the better my response will be. Lenora, hello. Woohoo. Woohoo, my friend. I had missed Friday's live. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I fell and I like completely like bruised up my wrist. I actually bruised up both, but this one was like really, really bad. I tell you, I have like, I just get clumsier and clumsier. Oh, I love those pumpkins. Yes. There's someone on Instagram that I don't even think it's in this country, but they do those with like live florals, and oh my gosh, they are so like stunning and moody, and I just love them. I know it's good to drop these on the ground, but I just feel like there's glitter pretty much everywhere, and this bow does not have glitter in it, so I don't want to get any on it. All right, so I have another tail that's about 2 feet. I think it's like the pumpkins where they have the flowers coming out of it, I think. Because yeah, there is somebody who does like just an amazing job. All right, and I'm gonna use floral wire for this, and then I'm gonna reinforce it with chenille stems. But before I do that, I'm just gonna spread out my tails. And then sometimes I use zip ties. I actually usually do use zip ties. But I'm just gonna do the wire. So many ways to get to the same end result, so we're gonna use wire today. Oh, Cassie, you did one. Yes, please post. So many different ways to like express and like celebrate the seasons in your home. Like this year I am getting into the swags. It's a little bit of a process because I'm not used to it, but all right, so I'm gonna lift this off the dowel and hold it. So I know I have it in the center. I'm gonna pull this super, super tight and then twist it off. Now I'm gonna take my tails and I'm going to dovetail them. I've seen them with real pumpkins from florists, and I've also seen them with artificial ones. I made one a few years ago. I saw an influencer, Brantley, had made one, and so I wanted to kind of like replicate it with artificials. So you can do both. You can buy like those foam pumpkins from like Michael's or Joann's. That would be a great hostess gift, really, because I don't think they necessarily have to be super pricey. I mean, it obviously depends on what you're putting in it, but I could also see some selling for like, you know, 40, 50 bucks, which is a good price range. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I ship these, because again, if we have somebody paying us to make a bow, it's because they don't want to or they don't know how. So if a bow arrives smushed, I don't know that they're going to know what to do with it, and they're probably going to feel like, you know, this isn't what was in the photo. So before I fluff, I take 2 chenille stems that match, okay, so, and I'm going to just twist them together just so I have one long one. I believe Deco Exchange sells really long ones. I feel like I've heard that. I haven't checked it out, but that would be ideal. And I'm just gonna put this right over where the wire was and twist it. Because I really don't think that we want our customers handling the floral wire. Actually, I'm gonna cut this off, and my wire cutters aren't with me, so I'm just gonna use my scissors. Okay, and just fold that in so no one's getting pricked with the wire. Okay, and so now, you know, our customer can just attach this to the top of the tree with the chenille stems. I might even just include a couple others in the box just to make it easy. Okay, and then when I'm fluffing, I ship them in 8x8 cube boxes. So even if the bow is a little bit bigger than that, it's okay, because we're gonna be stuffing all of the loops individually. Oh, Lenore, I'd love to see it. If you had your own channel, you could create a post and then send us the link. Because for other people, like people that are in the membership group, we have like a private Facebook group where we do like monthly challenges and share like sales and resources, like all of those things. So like members share through that Facebook group. Because yeah, that is always like my one downside of YouTube, is like it's pretty one-sided. And so at least on Facebook you can actually like see people and talk to them and, you know, have them post all that stuff. So I like the sound of a huge table scape for sure. So starting from the back first. I don't know how it's going to go with pencil trees and Bruno. It's definitely adding to the delay. We're having issues right now with him. He's managed to pull up our turf, like our whole backyard is turf. And you know, we've had as many as 6 dogs at a time. We foster dogs. We've had 2 shepherds at a time. Not a single dog has ever damaged the turf. And he went to each of the corners and like pulled it up. So the turf company came out 3 times, like within the last couple weeks. And so now Bruno's name is Hercules, but like my husband is not amused by the damage. So the breeder said that maybe he's not mature enough to be unsupervised, so he's spending a lot more time inside. And when I can, I'm spending more time outside supervising. But it was great before, because he and Ernie, my girl shepherd, they'd be out there forever. Just so happened he was up to no good. When this is all done, it reminds me of like, you know, like when women have the curlers in their hair. I have like the best picture of my mom when she was in her 20s. She was in like, I don't know, what do you call it, like a house coat. She had curlers in her hair and she was drinking beer out of a can, which I've never seen. It's hysterical. I posted it once somewhere and she was not amused. Kids don't realize that their parents were cool at some point. They think we were like born adults. And we're getting there. A couple more loops. Yeah, that's a great pick. I'm saying it, I've never in my life seen her drink a beer. And it was definitely like Miller High Life or like Bud Light, something like that. My dad even used to have like the, you know, the mirrors with like the Budweiser stuff on it. Like that was like in our living room when I was really little. Elegant decor. All right, so this is why I'm saying it looks like a lady with the curlers in her hair. And then what I'm gonna do is take the tails and I am going to just stack them on top of each other. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I also wanna make sure that they come out of the box nicely. Missed a loop. So I'm going to stack all my tails as much as I can. And then I am going to, this is really good ribbon, by the way. This is like nice and stiff and the wiring's good. I'm just going to fold this so it's almost like going to look like another loop. And then I'm going to take a chenille stem and I'm just going to wrap it around to hold this in place. I bet, Penny, I bet you've got some stories. My mom loves telling stories about me to my daughter because I was really rebellious and my daughter is such a good kid, but I'm like, don't give her any ideas. Okay, so now we have all of our loops filled. So this had, let me see, I hate math. It had roughly like 24 loops, I think. 22 or 24 loops. So then I'm gonna take my 8x8x8 shipping box and I'm just going to put it in. And again, it's okay to give it a little smush because our tissue paper is going to hold it in place, okay? So then I put some nice tissue paper on top, a little note, and it's good to go to its new home. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Again, I just want to say hello. I missed you guys on Friday. I will be back this Friday for 2 o'clock. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.